little farm dog. I've never seen a dog eat a radish before. I don't think Zora wants your radish. All done? Isn't that too spicy for you, silly? What you got, baby? Did you take Dad's radish? You took his radish? Why'd you steal Dad's radish? I don't even think you like radishes. We need to harvest some of the radishes that are, I guess, companion planted with the squash. Hey, baby. Hey, you're so little. The grass is bigger than you. So, the squash isn't really being outcompeted by the radishes. The squash is pretty vigorous, but I feel like the radishes are kind of maybe reducing the ability of bees to get in here and pollinate. So we're gonna pull some of these radishes. I'm not sure how many of these are gonna be good to eat. Some might be too tough, but that one still looks pretty small. That one looks great. That one never made a root. That one, I don't even know, wants to be a carrot or something. There actually are some carrots in here too. Maybe I should pull those. Whoa, that's a weird looking one. It's almost like something took a bite out of it. There's a little carrot. Yeah, it was just a little bit too weedy in here. I think some of the tall vegetation was kind of problematic for the bees. Also all this grass in here. This one looks okay. These have to go. In this area, the radishes are outcompeting some of the squash. Random cilantro plant I didn't know was here. Wow, you can already see powdery on these, and these are supposed to be a powdery mildew tolerant variety. Some decent looking radishes. Yeah, I kind of just want to clean this up. Ew, that one's like rotted or something. That one's pretty. I don't know how many of these are actually gonna make decent roots. That's a nice one. Wow, that's an interesting radish. Yeah, you can see the squash back here is kind of struggling. Probably not getting enough light because of all these radishes. I kind of thought this would be more exciting than it's turned out to be. I guess I waited too long to harvest these things. Probably gonna have to pickle most of them. The brown radishes are kind of surprising. You don't see a whole lot of those. Purple ones. Maybe I shouldn't be pulling all these at once. Wow, that's an interesting radish. But yeah, I really just want to open up more light for the squash. These were the crayon colors radishes that I got from Twilly's. Look at all that mint popping up in here. That's not ideal. That's a good looking radish. It's a decent looking radish. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely opening up some more light in here for the squashes now. Not sure if it's necessary to pull every single radish, but squash is just not particularly happy. This one over here is doing all right. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of competition from winter vegetables that kind of went to seed. These are supposed to be powdery mildew resistant. That's kind of a shame. This is the sabering variety. It said right on the seed catalog, powdery mildew resistant, and they were pretty expensive seed. I haven't noticed any difference between the susceptible and the supposedly resistant varieties, to be honest, but we shall see. Well, I think that's enough weeding in here for now. Sorry this wasn't more exciting. We got a big pile of radishes over here, but I don't know how many of them are going to be good to eat or not. We probably pulled at least 30 though. Well, I think my puppy got about half of the radishes, but we still got quite a few. These brown ones get really big. So all these were planted at the same time in the same conditions from the same seed pack. So any differences are probably going to be genetic. So there's 4 big brown ones there. I don't know what variety this brown one is. If anybody knows, please let me know. It's a white fleshed radish that's got brownish, light brown skin. Very, very sweet, not spicy at all. There's another one. Almost looks like a big old mushroom. It looks like almost a third of the seed pack turned out to be these white fleshed brown radishes. I'd never heard of a brown radish, but again, it had a real sweet, juicy, crispy character to it. And the smaller ones. I want to say they were the first to be ready. So there's at least 15 or so of these big brown radishes. There's also quite a lot of pink ones. I tend to know what those are. They're usually, pretty standard varieties. A couple white radishes. I don't think I've seen a lot of circular white radishes. The only white ones I've seen have been like daikons and icicles. It looks like mostly pink. The purple ones are my favorite, but not only are those the smallest, there's also the few of them. Very few little purple ones. They're probably more tender though. But yeah, so in total we got well over 50 radishes. I grow them more as a cover crop than anything else. If you get to eat them, that's nice, but radishes tend to do a lot for the soil. They can suppress weeds through allelopathic properties. They can also suppress some soil-borne diseases. They help keep pests away. They grow really rapidly and help, stabilize the soil, prevent erosion when you have heavy rains. It's also an extremely rewarding crop in terms of time. A lot of times you can plant a radish seed and you have something to harvest within 30 to 40 days. Actually, I might need to recount these. This is probably closer to 100. Puppies over there chewing on radishes. There's a little purple one. So we actually never harvested most of the daikons this year. Usually I do like a megala daikon video in January or February. The weather was staying much colder than normal this year, so I ended up just leaving the daikons in the ground. I was hoping they would get bigger and bigger with the cold weather, but they eventually did flower, and by that point they're not really great to eat. But I'm gonna save seed from the daikon that's the largest. That's quite the haul of radishes from a pretty small area, and now the squash will be happier because they have less competition for sun, and I'm letting all the green material from the radishes just kind of break down as mulch for the soil, and because it's from the radishes, it'll help suppress some of the fungal diseases that might affect the squash. I don't really have issues with squash, vine borers or squash bugs or anything like that, but if I did, having all that spicy radish material breaking down would probably help keep away some of the bugs. I don't have bug issues on squash, I just have powdery mildew issues, which is why I bought those expensive Sabring powdery mildew tolerant and or resistant variety. While we're looking at radishes, that's the daikon that I'm saving seed from. It's actually shrunk a bit since it's gone to flower and seed. It was bigger than this, but now it's pulling energy out of the root in order to produce all these seed pods. So hopefully I'll get quite a bit of seed off that for next year. But yeah, so that's my radish haul for the day.